and the bipartisan task force that was quickly formed following the first attempt in Butler, PA, 9 weeks ago, only 9 weeks ago, on Donald Trump's life. That task force is now requesting an immediate briefing on yesterday's incident. Congresswoman Madeleine Dean of Pennsylvania is a member of that bipartisan task force, joins us now. Congresswoman, thanks for being with us. I know you're so busy today, but just a little more than 2 months since that first assassination attempt, not unprecedented in presidential history, even, Gerald Ford, 2 attempts on his life. But the atmosphere is so highly charged now with social media, with high-tech weapons. What do you expect the Secret Service to tell you when they brief you? What do you want to know from them about this?
Well, first, Andrea, thank you for having me on. And I have to say, like you, I am stunned, I am shocked, and this is sobering. A second attempt in just 9 weeks during this heated political season. I just condemn any political violence. I condemn all violence, but this insane level of political violence, which came so close to yet again potentially wounding or killing Mr. Trump. I do want to lift up what Jose just lifted up, that I think both in our examination, the task force examination of the Butler assassination attempt, and what we will learn about this one, we will find gaps, but we will find heroes. So I want to shout out to the person who had the wherewithal to identify the suspect, the car, and the defendant. What I hope from the Secret Service is what we have begun to get from the Secret Service. Last week when we were we had a classified briefing around Butler and our bipartisan task force, which is united in saying there is no place for political violence. And it is our charge by a unanimous vote of the House, 416-0. Every single member who was there, Democrats and Republicans, voted to set up this task force to get at the truth, to say there is no place for political violence, to make sure the resources are in place to protect our electeds, our candidates, as well as the people who just want to be civically engaged and go to a rally, but also to make sure at some point we are able to restore faith in institutions. So we are united in that front, and what we need from the Secret Service is more transparent truth about what happened, what works, what doesn't, what resources are missing.
And the Secret Service is so heavily tasked. There's also the children and other relatives who, in certain instances, require and need extensive Secret Service. And in the Trump case, the adult children who are traveling overseas, that's an even more intensive Secret Service surrounding protection when he was president. Do you think that candidates now, the 2 major party candidates, should have presidential-level security absent the military chain of command? That component that, of course, with the nuclear football and all, goes with the President of the United States?
I think they should. And we saw that President Biden immediately after the Butler attempt, which did kill 1 man and grievously wounded 2 others, that he said that Mr. Trump deserved a return to presidential level. The same holds for Vice President Kamala Harris. The threat level is so great in this country, and that is what this exposes. We are charged, all of us, with curtailing the heated rhetoric that might lead someone to think that they should take into their own hands the taking out of a political candidate. So I do believe that the Secret Service appears from our preliminary reviews, they appear to be stretched too thin, that they need more resources, and certainly these candidates, with the threats that they are under, must have top-level Secret Service accommodations and protections.
Congressman, I know you have to travel, and thank you for taking time to talk to us first. We really appreciate it.
Good to be with you.